It is with humility and a servant's attitude that I am blessed to bring you today's devotion. The hardest part of this pandemic for me is not being able to hug or be super close in person to our grandkids, Cora and Paige. However, one of the blessings of this hidden disease, besides less time commuting on the road, is to spend time in the Word. And just being honest, with no live sports on TV except cornhole tournaments and NASCAR, which you can only watch so much of, there is plenty of time. So with more opportunity to read the Bible, I did take the Arise with the Guys challenge and read the book of John over the past month. And it was easy to do and rewarding spiritually. And it got me to thinking about all the stories we have heard about besides Jesus, like Noah, Moses, David versus Goliath, etc. And I thought there are still so many I don't know about or even remember. And I started to look for some of those stories and came across the story of Naaman in 2 Kings. If you are like me, you would go, who? Well, 800 years before Jesus' time on earth began, Naaman was a military commander of Syria's army. I envision him to be like Colonel Jessup in the movie A Few Good Men. Tough as nails and not going to take crap from anyone. Well, Naaman had an incurable disease called leprosy. Unlike the hidden nature of COVID today, you could tell if someone had leprosy, as it was a nasty skin disease and feared as contagious, and no one wanted to be near the person. Today it's called Hansen's disease and is treatable. Naaman's wife had an Israelite servant girl who suggested that he go see the prophet in Israel to be cured. The king of Syria sent Naaman with a letter and gifts of money and clothes to the king of Israel. But the king of Israel read the letter, he tore his clothes and said, "This man sends me a leper to heal? Am I God, that I can kill and give life?" The king of Syria is trying to get an excuse to invade us again, is what he thought. Well, Elisha, the prophet, heard about the king's plight, told him to send Naaman to him, and he will learn there is a true prophet of God here in Israel. Naaman came to Elisha's house with his chariots, gifts, and servants. However, Elisha didn't come out to meet Naaman, but sent a messenger to tell Naaman to go wash in the Jordan River 7 times and he would be healed. Naaman was angry that Elisha didn't even come out to see him, and commented that the rivers back home in Damascus are much better than the rivers of Israel. And more so, could it really be this easy, he thought? Naaman's servants urged him to reconsider. Sort of, is there any harm in trying? And Naaman wisely did. And after dipping himself in the Jordan River 7 times, he was completely healed, as Elisha had said. His flesh became as healthy as a little child, it says in 2 Kings 5:14. There is more to this story that you can read for yourself in 2 Kings chapter 5. But here are some added thoughts. Naaman came to be healed, carrying rich gifts. Elisha had no such finery, just the power of God. God is a giver, not a taker. His gifts cannot be bought. Naaman's healing from leprosy is a wonderful picture of our salvation from sin, freely bestowed by the grace of God in response to faith. Well, Jesus even used the story of Naaman and Elisha as an illustration of Israel's problem of unbelief in Luke 4:27. And back to the book of John. It reads, 8 days later, the disciples were together again, and this time Thomas was with them. The doors were locked, but suddenly, as before, Jesus was standing among them and greeting them. Then he said to Thomas, "Put your finger into my hands. Put your hand into my side. Don't be faithless any longer. Believe." "My Lord and my God," Thomas said. Then Jesus told him, "You believe because you have seen me. But blessed are those who haven't seen me and believe anyway." I encourage you to find an unfamiliar story in the Bible and share it with others. God is good.